Hi, I'm Gwennetta, Wright.
And I'm Deonta B.
And welcome to Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B.
Yes, and so today's show is about life in the faith lane. And Gwen, a lot of people don't know, we've been besties forever, and we've been living like faith. We learned faith at a very, very young age.
Yes.
So for the viewers that don't know, I want you to tell them, because I know, but they don't know, like, your faith lane, like you just had to get jumped just right into the lane.
Yeah, and I'm still walking by faith. So yeah, for people who don't know, I've been an entrepreneur for the last 11 years, and you know, anytime you're living your dream, you really have to walk by blind faith. So when I started out in business, I'm not going to tell you to do it, I'm just telling you what happened to me. When I started out, I left my job where I was making very good money, a good salary, and I walked by faith because God told me to step out, and I became an entrepreneur, and I have not turned back since. But this journey as an entrepreneur has been a faith walk, and it constantly be a faith walk. So anybody who's trying to live their dream, you got to understand that you live a life in the faith lane. And so today's guests are great examples of that. So today we'll be having Mrs. Daniela Gabrielle. She is the queen of living life in the faith lane. She's a transitional coach, she's an author, and she's a speaker. Deonta, who else we got on the show today?
And in entertainment, we have Travis Steele, who is a promoter and producer of theatrical works. So, you know, we got a lot to talk about today. So if you're just tuning in, this is Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. So stay tuned and keep it locked.
Look at your posture. You're all wrong for one thing. Look at this. Oh, hold on. Hello, this is Mark Jones.
Hey, Mark. This is Uncle Bo, and I was in a car accident.
Can you meet me at my office in 30 minutes?
Are you there?
I'm on the way.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
I'm Mark Jones. Call me today for your free consultation about your case. And remember, if you've been injured or in a wreck, call Mark Jones and he'll get you that check.
The world is a backdrop, and Modish Steele is one of its most up-and-coming photographers. He specializes in senior portraits, event photography, maternity and wedding shots, sports photography, and more. Modish Steele was voted 2017 Photographer of the Year. Whether you need a studio look or you prefer the outdoors, Modish Steele is your #1 source for image capturing in the Tri-City area. For more information, visit us at our website, modishsteels.com, or call us at 706-536-6372.
Welcome back to Gwen's Business Corner, and if you're just tuning in, we have entertainment producer and promoter Travis Steele with us. Hi, Travis.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
We appreciate you coming today and joining us.
Definitely. It's good to be here. The set is all pretty and tight. So, you know, we're chilling today.
Well, thank you. So we're just going to jump right in. We're just fired up and ready to go to hear about what you got to say. So the first question we want to ask you about, you know, there are so many people that want to break into the industry that you're in. There are so many people that want to be a promoter or a producer. So what advice would you give them as far as developing a relationship with artists when they're trying to get into the industry where you already are?
Definitely. I think developing the relationships just come over time. Because over the years, I've met a lot of people who would say they're serious and you just really don't know. So I think it comes over time. Usually if you get with an artist and it's just that 1 year and you start putting a lot into them, that situation tends to end bad because your work ethics might be differently. So I just think it's a situation where it's over time that you can see, okay, this artist is truly worth investing in.
Okay. Great answer. Okay, so from your bio, I read you started in promoting and producing at the age of 16 with the Pop and Shake. I actually tried out for that video.
What?
Yes, for the pop and
Telling
shake.
the
I was doing the pop and shake for the pop and shake. And so, of course, in any business you have challenges. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced over the years doing promotion and producing in the business? And those challenges, how did you bounce back?
Everybody goes through their challenges, like you said. In this business, a lot of people try to get in entertainment. Funding is a big thing because, the shows, are six-figure shows or productions. So I would say funding is always a challenge for a lot of people. For me, I would say my challenge has been, we're in Columbus, Georgia. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the success that I've had or connections I have had, actually, I have left Columbus, whether it was New York, Atlanta, or going overseas. And then, that's what I would say, just breaking out of Columbus and getting into other markets and then being able to come back here and put your friends on, but you can't be scared to leave this county.
Okay.
It's funny you said that, talking about funding, because, a lot of people are probably trying to figure out with funding, because, for the people that don't know, you do major, big magnitude shows, like concerts and stuff like that with celebrities. So when it comes to funding, how are you able to fund the projects without yourself going bankrupt, being able to keep yourself afloat and be able to fund those big, major $1 million projects?
What I did a long time ago, I started working with everyday people. I noticed early that people who have a lot of money tend to be more reluctant to put money into shows. So, like right now, we're working on a production. It's in the theatrical world. But we will raise that money, but I will go to everyday working people, and you can get a certain amount of people, angel investors, we call them in theater, and they invest into the production, and it might be $2,500, it might be $5,000, but if you combine that together, it's just like compounding interest. You can get it done. But what happens a lot of times is people will say, oh, okay, well, he works at Walmart, or he works at Total System, he doesn't have any real money, where I would say, hey, I need to sit down and talk to you. And just like how Affleck started, they knocked on everybody's door in the neighborhood looking for people to invest in their company, and then it took off to be what it was. But it was regular, everyday working people that funded that company.
That's interesting, and that's some good advice on budgeting, because a lot of times people want to do shows, but they don't know actually where to get the funding from, and then a lot of people probably don't even think about raising the funds in order to do the show from a group of people. So that was great advice. So let's talk about the social media world. So for social media, it's the hot thing when it comes to marketing and promotions. So how important is it for someone who's getting into this particular industry to utilize social media?
For me, I have a team that know and understand social media better than me. But what I do, let's say, for example, we used to have street teams and passing out flyers and running the streets. But for example, when we announced the Chris Brown show here, we put it on Facebook, and we had like 70-something thousand hits at iHeartRadio. They had over 70-something thousand views. And even if we had the best street team in the world, it would not have been able to compete with that. So social media to me is important. But it also lets me know that it's the content, because if I just put out something, it might get 500 views or something. But if you have the right content, it can just grow exponentially real fast.
Okay.
That's great. So theatrical works.
Definitely.
For those who don't know, like, you might have people, they trying to, like, most of the time when people are coming up with names in business, it means something.
Yeah,
so what is theatrical works? What does that mean?
Okay. Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a good question. For me, my passion is theater, productions. That's what I'm into. When I got into the business, it started with the music side, and then it kind of shifted from music to theater and creating productions. I love stuff like that. So it was just creating theatrical productions, and works are, as you know, just whatever a completed project is. Okay. So theatrical works, and then we added the live to it a little later, just so that it was focused on live entertainment. So that's where it stems from, and we love it.
I like it.
I like it. So doing promotions, especially big concerts and different things like that, what goes on behind the scene? What kind of work goes into you pulling off a big production, a big live show?
Good, that's a good question. It's funny that you asked that because when I first got into the business, I tried to do everything. I was trying to make sure catering was there, make sure the sound man was there. But once I got in and started interning with some of the companies like Live Nation and going on the road and traveling, I learned that they had production managers and real production teams. And I saw how cool the promoter would just be able to talk and just, shake hands and kiss babies and all that good stuff. So on the day of a show, for me, it's really not busy anymore. Okay. It's really about chilling, just, pacing myself, and you have a dedicated production team in place, and they put out all the fires. The only time you have a fire, when there's a big fire, it may come to me. For example, we had Gucci Man, and now Gucci Man is a new guy. So he's not the Gucci Man we booked years ago. So at 9 o'clock, he was supposed to go on. So 9 o'clock rolled up, his manager came to me because it was a big problem at this point. Gucci Man is gonna give you 10 minutes to put him on. So instantly we had to get Young Dro to move out the way, and can you let Gucci go first, and finagle things. And it all worked out, and the crowd never knew anything. So usually if it's a big problem, then it comes to me, but other than that, there's a good production team. And that's why I tell people there's a lot more than just being the promoter or the producer. There's so many jobs that comes in that whole business that you don't have to be the person in the front to be in it.
Okay. Interesting.
It is interesting. That makes you just want to jump in and get behind the scenes just so you can see, what's going on.
Definitely.
So lastly, tell them, how can we keep up with all this fun stuff? Because it's like all this fun stuff is going on behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. What's next? How can we stay in the know with Travis Steele?
Okay. Well, actually, we have a production that we're working on now. We can't speak too heavy on it. I know Gwen knows that sometimes I say I'm working on something, but we do have something. Our best way is Theatrical Works Live on Facebook, or myself, Travis Steele, on Facebook. A lot of people hit me up on a message, and that would be the best way. But we do have some stuff in the works for next year, 2018.
Well, great. Well, we appreciate you coming to the show, sharing your knowledge with our viewers, and hopefully you'll come back and join us.
Oh, I would be glad. Just call me up and I'm here.
Okay.
So if you're just tuning in, we just had some great convo with Travis Steele, but coming up next, we got our own. Gwennetta Wright's going to be talking to you with Tax Talk with Gwen, so you better stay tuned and keep it locked.
It is my understanding that you do not have any life insurance, or maybe you need more. I'm Monica Owens, a licensed life insurance agent for Georgia, and I'm sad because no one told you that a life insurance policy is the safest investment for your money and a sure way to leave money behind for your family. Listen, I'm going to help you, and I've been helping people all my life. You can call me, and it will be between you and me. Call me. I'm going to help you.
Welcome to Whisperwood, your new resort style of living. Whisperwood is in the heart of action with access to everything you need. You will have a fantastic home set in a premier location, packaged with unbeatable amenities. For more information, visit Whisperwood, the edge of everything new.
Welcome back to Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. And if you're just tuning in, you know this year is just flying by us and we cannot keep up. And it's almost tax season, so right now we're going to give you some tax talk with Gwen.
Hi. So, I don't know if you all know that I am the owner of Expert Tax Service, LLC. I actually have a location in Columbus, Georgia, and I have a location in Stone Mountain, Georgia, that Deonta actually manages. And so tax season is right around the corner, so we thought it was very important that we help you get prepared for this upcoming tax season. So today I'm going to talk about a credit, or when people actually getting their refunds, because I know that everybody's getting ready to do holiday shopping, and before you go spend all your money up, I need you to know when your money will be coming. And so if you remember last tax season, people who had a certain tax credit was not able to get their refund until after a certain day. Well, understand that that was actually a law. And again, this tax season, if you are usually getting the earned income tax credit, the additional child tax credit, or the American Opportunity Credit, the IRS will not be releasing refunds again until after February the 15th. So just be careful while you're out there holiday shopping. Don't spend all your money up too quick, too fast, because that tax money is not coming too quick this year. And so if you need more tax information, or if you have any tax questions, or if you're looking for a new tax preparer, go to Expert Tax Service LLC Facebook page, or you can even go to Gwen's Business Corner page, because again, I own Expert Tax Service LLC and Deonta manages, so you can ask your tax questions on there as well. So stay tuned to Tax Talk with Gwen on Facebook Live, where I'll be going live talking about other tax issues, or stay tuned to the next episode of Gwen's Business Corner, where I'll be talking about the healthcare coverage.
Well, there you have it. Gwen just gave you Tax Talk with Gwen, and you better stay tuned and keep it locked, because you know this is the show just for you, to get you educated on things you need to know to grow in entertainment and business. Stay tuned, keep it locked. Gwen's Business Corner.
Time to overflow. Beauty and barber salon, a place where you wanna go, where you can come and have fun. Come to overflow, where you can get your hair done. Come to overflow. Come to overflow.
Welcome back. So today's show, we've been talking about life in the faith lane, and we have the queen of life in the faith lane with us today, so Mrs. Daniela Gabrielle. Welcome, Daniela.
Hello,
welcome.
I'm so glad to be here today.
We are so glad to have you. I know I'm really honored to have you, because I know when God gave me the idea to do Gwen Business Corner with Deonta, you was like the first person I called, like, girl, do you think I should do this show? And so it's just an honor to have you here with us today. So let's just dig right into it.
Let's go.
So your slogan is living life in the faith lane. So tell our viewers, what do that mean to you?
So life in the faith lane, in essence, means that there is no success without God. When I really began to jump fully into being an entrepreneur, I had these wonderful mountaintop experiences where things were great, but then I hit some really low valleys. And I thought, well, maybe I'm not created to be an entrepreneur. Maybe this isn't the road that I'm supposed to take in life. And when I began to spend time with God, God began to show me that, no, just because you have valley experiences doesn't mean you're not supposed to attempt big things. It is that you're supposed to link up with me, roll with me, and together we co-create the life that you love.
Oh, that's powerful. So with that being said, life in the faith lane, you are the DNA of life in the faith lane. And so, you know, there are so many people that have so much trouble with living life in the faith lane. It's like, it's just a hard thing for people to do. So what would you say to somebody that's ready to live out their dreams, but they're having trouble with living life in the faith lane?
So the first thing that I would say is, like Joyce Meyer says, do it afraid. You're going to be scared. And it's natural for us to be scared. And I think sometimes we think that, you know, if there is an absence of fear, then we're on the right path. It is about moving past the fear and doing it even when you're afraid.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. And so we're going to talk about a sensitive subject to you, which, but it's a lot of people who suffer with it. So you have lupus, and that's one of your battles as an entrepreneur, because you deal with a chronic illness. And so I see you working hard through your dreams regardless of the fact that you have a chronic illness. For those viewers who are out there who might have not just lupus, but any type of illness that is stopping them from living their dreams, tell them like some things that you do to just keep pushing when you're not in a good space.
So the first thing is, when I got diagnosed with systemic lupus, it took 10 years to get my diagnosis. Wow. So I went 10 years dealing with not knowing what was wrong with me, not knowing why I was sick, having these ups and downs in my health battle. And so I say to the first person that's out there is work with your life the way that works best for you. And being honest with yourself is the hardest part. A lot of times I want to do what I could do 10 years ago. I want to be able to work, 15, 16 days in a row with 2 hours of sleep every night. I can't do that anymore. So the first thing I say is be honest about your limitations, but don't let your limitations stop you. So I've learned to work smarter, not harder. I delegate a lot of things out. Things that I can do to manage my energy better, I'm willing to do those, and I take my rest when I need to. And I think the most important thing that I've learned in this last part of my battle is to have help and to create systems. And so that's the thing that I found was really hurting me, was when I would get sick, I had no system to keep creating income or to service my clients. And so now I've learned to have a team that can service my clients when I'm not there, and to create systems so that there are things that people can purchase so that I still have money coming in even when I need to rest.
That's some great advice.
It is. That's good stuff. So, Daniela Gabrielle.
Yes.
You tap into so many different areas. So, I want you to tell the viewers the brand of Daniela Gabrielle. Who is the brand? Because you're so many different things. You wear so many different hats. So, give us that.
So for me, I think I've struggled a lot with the fact that I do a lot of different things. And so I'm kind of all things to all people based on what they've needed. So I've kind of rooted my brand in being a transition entrepreneur, and even transitioning more into calling myself a profit professor. So instead of me describing the service as I render, I describe how I serve the world and what gift I bring to the world. And so the gift that I bring to the world is helping them through changes, whether it's starting a business, whether it's navigating your dreams, even when you have health issues, whether it's, I want to go higher in my career. So helping them to navigate those changes and seeing how to be profitable in doing that. Because that's where some people struggle. Either they're, really impactful and they're changing the world and they're broke, or they have a lot of money and they're not leaving an impact. And so being able to marry the two and help them get there. And then all of the other services, it's just how we execute that.
I agree. We know I do a whole lot of things too, and I had to learn that the hard way. And so you are a transitional coach, you are a best-selling author, but what other people don't know is that you actually have taught other people how to birth out their own books. So just give our viewers a little bit of advice of people who might want to be an author, some tips that they can use to, birth a book.
So that's great, because everybody has a message on the inside of them. And that's the first thing I want to say. If you have an idea for a book, my first thing for you is to say yes to what's on the inside of you. Because most of the time we say, nah, I can't do that, and then we never do anything. So first step is say yes to the vision that you're getting for your book. The second thing is to sit down and create an outline. Create 10 bullets that create your chapters that you can begin to go in and fill out. And then once you create those 10 subject bullets, then create a format for each chapter, and then use that format to finish up your book.
Great.
That's awesome. Okay, so the next thing is something that me and Gwen, we kind of battle, we weigh the fence on it, because we know that education is key, but we kind of battle with, is it education or is it research, And I know that you have, several degrees, so what are your thoughts on, getting a degree, like when you want to get in a profession like yourself, going to get the degree, and what would you say to somebody that's trying to figure out, well, do I go get the degree, or do I just research that particular field, or what should I do?
That's a good question. And so it's funny, I do have degrees now, but what most people don't know is I went to 7 schools. Number 8 was the school I actually finished my degree out. Yeah, so 7 different schools, 7 different majors that I went into. So I believe that you should be a lifelong learner, whether you go through the traditional route or whether you go an untraditional route. So the first thing is, what do you want to do? Does it require a traditional degree? If it doesn't necessarily require a traditional degree, you can then invest in courses, you can invest in having a consultant or a coach that you can get the knowledge that you need. I think that no matter which route you go, there's 2 things that you need to do. You need to be coachable and you need to be teachable. And people think that that's the same thing, and it's not. So somebody teaching you something is to just learn something. But when you're being coached, that's when somebody is looking at where you are, they're seeing the greatness in you, they're helping pull that out of you, and they're helping to polish you. So that's that iron sharpens iron, whereas being teachable is where you're just getting information. And I think that when you can do the two together, that's when you're going to be most successful.
Well, we so appreciate the great nuggets that you gave our viewers. So tell them how to find you on social media.
The best place to get started is actually at my website. So if you go to www.inthefaithlane.com, as soon as you get there, it's going to connect you to all of my social media platforms and allow you to become a VIP member of the Faith Lane Society.
Well, there you have it. Daniela Gabrielle just gave us some great information that we can use. And coming up next, we're going to tell you what's going on with us. So you better not leave that couch. You better stay tuned and keep it live.
This is Mark Jones.
I was injured in an accident on the job, and I've been waiting for weeks to hear from the insurance company. Medical bills are coming in, but the money isn't.
Can you meet me at my office in 30 minutes?
I sure can.
All right, I'm on the way.
Don't let these insurance companies trick you into a low settlement. Mark Jones has been fighting insurance companies for nearly 10 years.
If you've been injured or in a wreck, call Mark Jones and he'll get you that check.
The All In campaign seeks to engage all community partners in creating positive learning environments for Georgia's children and youth. Working together and being all-in community leaders, stakeholders, and partners can help to move education to new heights in Georgia.
I'm attorney Teddy Reese, and I'm all in.
I'm all in.
I'm all in.
I'm all in for education. Hook! For more information, visit www.gaeducationclimate.org.
The world is a backdrop, and Modish Steele is one of its most up-and-coming photographers. He specializes in senior portraits, event photography, maternity and wedding shots, sports photography, and more. Modish Steele was voted 2017 Photographer of the Year. Whether you need a studio look or you prefer the outdoors, Modish Steele is your #1 source for image capturing in the Tri-City area. For more information, visit us at our website, modishsteels.com, or call us at 706-536-6372.
So, Gwen, tell them what we got coming up next.
Well, we have a nonprofit organization, Reach for Your Dreams, Inc., and we're gearing up for our annual toy giveaway and dinner. And so we'll be having it and hosting it on December 10th at Shirley B. Winston from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We are accepting volunteers. We're taking donations for monetary donations, toys, and food, and also we're looking for sponsors. So if you're interested in being a part of our 9th annual toy giveaway and Christmas dinner, then you can reach me on Reach for Your Dreams Inc. page, or you can even inbox either one of us on Gwen's Business Corner. Also, you can find me, Gwennetta Wright, on all social media outlets at Gwennetta Wright. You also can visit my website at GwennettaWright.com and book your next business strategy session. So Deonta, tell them how to find you.
So you can find me on all social media outlets at The Real Deonta B, and that's TheRealDeonta B. And we're out. This is Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. Deuces.
We would like to thank our business sponsor, Travels by Darrell. For all your travel needs, get in touch with Darrell Brown on Facebook.